I am Sheriff John Rutherford of the Jacksonville Sheriff's Office. And Governor, we are very proud to be here today and with all of the honored guests that we have. And I'd like to introduce some of our law enforcement agencies and representatives that are here as well. We have from the Florida Highway Patrol, we have Captain Keith Gaston. Also representing Sheriff Sadie Darnell from Alachua County is Major Mike Fellows. From Clay County, representing Sheriff Rick Beasler, is Colonel Craig Aldrich. And I'm also joined by fellow Sheriff Mark Hunter here from Columbia County. And joining us from Flagler County is Major Steve Clare, and Putnam County Sheriff Jeff Hardy is represented by Deputy Paul Priester. We thank all of you for being here. Also, St. Johns County Sheriff's Office is represented by Lieutenant Chris Acosta, and joining us on behalf of Suwannee County is Tony Cameron, and Sheriff Tony Cameron is Chief Deputy Ron Colvin. And I'm also proud to have here with us today my undersheriff, Dwayne Centerfit, Director Michelle Romoli, and several members of my staff and officers. And Governor, we certainly hope with the signing of this bill that we will stop the accident fraud from staged crashes here in Florida, and that we will actually save our taxpayers some dollars. So with that, Governor.
All right, thank you. Well, thank you, Sheriff. First off, let me just, I just want to tell you this wouldn't have happened but for the sheriffs, police chiefs, all the law enforcement, everybody getting active. And one of the positives about our state is that when law enforcement gets involved in an issue, things get done. And it gets done because of your hard work. So congratulations. And by the way, you look good in that commercial you did on this also. Maybe that was it. It was the statewide commercial you did. So let me just introduce some people. Senator, as you well know, Senator Thrasher, thank you for all your hard work. Representative Jones, thank you for all your hard work. Representative Weinstein, thank you. Robin Westcott, who is responsible for, I guess, what's your title? It's Insurance Consumer Advocate. Robin did the first, we did a study like, when was that finished last July? Was it November? That seemed like earlier than that, where we put out and showed. What's interesting is the number of auto accidents in the state has dropped since 2007. And if you live in, and the fraud around this was growing at 30% a year, if you live in Hialeah, Florida, and you're a family of two that makes $40,000 with kids, you could pay as much as 14% of your take-home just for $10,000 worth of coverage. And on average, you're spending 5%, and that was growing at 30% a year. And Insurance Commissioner McCarty, thank you for your hard work. Everybody had an impact on getting this done, and as the senator will say, getting it through the Senate the last day of session was not easy. But we got there. We won by 21-19. We won by one vote. And I think 3 hours before, we had 26 votes. I don't know what happened, but something changed right there at the end. So, I want to thank Kevin, and I want to thank Robin for first. What Robin put out was helpful to show us all how the money is being wasted. And I think if Kevin hadn't been active, especially, you were really helpful in the last week explaining the cost of this. So thank you very much. What's nice is your House and your Senate does react. I think about this job is you have basically 3 jobs when you're governor. Make sure individuals, families, the children can get an education. We put $1 billion more into education, K through 12 this year. Make sure people get a job. We're at a 3-year low on unemployment. Last month it was the biggest drop in 20 years. And keep the cost of living low. And this is part of keeping the cost of living low. So it's a real honor to be here. It wouldn't happen for everybody up here on this stage. So thank you very much. And now we'll sign the bill. By the way, already people are trying to game the system. I was supposed to bring this up. I have an email here from a physician, or it looks like a medical staffing group that says, our physicians will do assessments, fill out and sign forms that state the insured has an emergency medical condition. Didn't say if they do have one, just says they will make sure it happens. So they're already going to try to scam the system. It's really nice to be here with Sheriff Rutherford and all the other individuals involved in law enforcement, along with see Representative Weinstein's here. Yep, he's right here. And Senator Thrasher, I didn't see you. Robin Westcott, who is the insurance consumer advocate. Right? Is Kevin McCarty left? But anyway, this was a big bill. If you think about our state, it's really, I think, as governor, I'm supposed to focus on three things: education. Make sure your child can get a great education, make sure that you can get a job and keep the cost of living low. This was an issue that was costing our citizens a lot of money. This is an opportunity to reduce the cost of living if we've done this right. It was a tough bill. If it hadn't been for Senator Thrasher working this hard in the Senate, it wouldn't have gotten done. But also Representative Weinstein did a great job in the House making sure the right thing happened there. Robin did a great job putting out a report that explained the fraud, and Kevin McCarty, I think, has already left the Insurance Commissioner. He was very helpful. But you thank your House and your Senate for getting this bill passed. It should reduce the cost of auto insurance. We have way too much fraud, and hopefully we've cracked on this the right way, and if not, we're going to keep focusing on it. So we'll be glad to answer, any of us will be glad to answer any questions anybody has. Sheriff, do you want to say something before we turn it over?
Well, Governor, I just want to thank you for the leadership on getting this through the Senate and the House, and Senator Thrasher and Representative Weinstein. You know, for law enforcement, this is a very important bill. People have been utilizing our processes to perpetrate this fraud upon the public, our constituents that we sheriffs serve throughout the state of Florida as well, to the tune of $1 billion, $1 billion fraud. Florida had 4 of the top 10 cities in the country with staged accident fraud, and this bill is going to put the brakes on that.
Yeah, put the brakes on fraud. We are
putting the brakes on staged auto fraud. Thank you.
That's right. Senator, did you want to say something?
I'd say one thing. This is like a hidden tax in the state of Florida. And for the governor to take this on and take the leadership, it's fantastic, because it takes a governor, strong Senate, strong House to accomplish something like this when you have a lot of constituencies out there that don't want anything to happen. They like the way it is. But it's going to cost, as the sheriff said, it's cost our taxpayers $1 billion, and that's like a hidden tax. And so this is going to bring more money in consumers' pockets, and it's going to help the people of the state of Florida in an immense way. And I'm proud of you, Governor. Thanks for coming to Jacksonville to sign it also.
Thanks. Representative, you want to say something?
Just one word. Basically, as big as this is and as important as this is, if you just lay it next to the other things the governor and the legislature has done over the last couple of years, we continue to reduce the efforts of the government, and we continue to provide more dollars in people's pockets at home, and we're doing the right thing.
Robin, you may add anything?
Oh, thank you. You know, I've heard many comments that this was not a consumer-oriented bill, but it is, because those among us that really can least afford to pay for this coverage, a mandatory coverage, would have been at some point unable to purchase coverage and risk driving without insurance just to get to work every day. So this was important that this reform happened.
All right, we can answer any questions anybody has.
Okay, what do we do to relieve that 6-month gap that came into this
I'll
bill?
go take care of it. It's not going to be a problem.
So, Governor, you formed a task force to take a look at the state university system. Why not just have the Board of Governors do that?
Well, I think it's good to bring new thoughts in. We've got a great Board of Governors. We've got great trustees at our universities, but it's going to be a new group that'll look at it, and we'll get some, hopefully some new ideas. All of us know that we've got to make sure that our students that are going to our universities are getting degrees where they can get jobs, and this will help focus on that, make sure we don't waste any dollars. So I think it'll be a good group that'll do a good job.
Governor, are you aware of the allegations against FSCJ? A packet was sent to you on April 9th accusing the school of a number of misdeeds and misappropriation of funds.
No, that's right.
If you were made aware of that, would you look into it?
I'd have to look at whatever it is. I can tell you that. No, I figured out not to focus on hypotheticals. It's never been good for me.
Governor, you read from a letter up there. Who is that letter from, and do you have concerns y'all are going to have to be going back and taking a look at this issue again next session?
We can get you who the letter's from. I don't have it. I probably have it up there. But I can get you that. Yeah, we're going to have to be diligent. I think you have to. I mean, look at the things that we've done in the last 16 months. We did pill mill legislation, was a dramatic impact, but you still have to focus on that. I think that's had a pretty big impact right here. We've passed a bill to deal with the bath salts, the synthetic drugs, but we're going to have to do a lot more with that all the time. So everything you do, you're going to have to continue to focus on it. I mean, the legislature has worked on trying to have some positive impact on PIP in the past, and we'll have to keep doing it.
It's incremental.
Yeah, and somebody will come up with some way. I mean, look, the sheriff deals with it all the time. Somebody comes up with a way to get around things all the time, but we'll keep focused on it. One thing great about our state is that when there is a problem, we're very responsive to the sheriffs, to police chiefs, to law enforcement, of trying to fix things.
Governor, a Washington based group that promotes the separation of religion and government is complaining about Secretary Williams emailing to his staff his prayer for the national heritage. Do you have any thoughts at all on that?
He's doing the right thing. I mean, look, remember, this country was built on the right of freedom of religion. I mean, you ought to have the right to you express yourself, and that's what he did. He did the right thing.
Governor, could I get a comment from you about the new unemployment rate?
Well, it's great that the national unemployment rate is coming down. What's also better is the fact that Florida's dropping faster. We've dropped way faster than the national numbers in the last 16 months. We've got 50 months of data so far. We'll get our next one. I think it'll be next Friday. I think we'll get the numbers for April. So that's positive. Last month we were now at a 3-year low, biggest drop in 20 years. We've taken the number of people on unemployment from 568,000 people in our state to 342,000. Even more important, you can see where we're going. Chief Executive Magazines did a survey that just came out. We're number 2 in the country. We have to continue to do a little bit better job than Rick Perry's done in Texas. We'll be number 1 next year.
Thank you.
I have another quick question, unrelated. We're doing a story about the 1020 life law in the state of Florida, and attorneys are suggesting people who have some issues with that and believe it should be handled on a case-to-case basis. Is that good advice to petition, obviously, Tallahassee and legislators, etc.?
We've done the right thing. I mean, look, the proof's in the pudding. Look at it. We're at a 41-year low in our crime rate. And so it's things that we've done. We've cracked down on crime in the state. And that's the reason why last year, if you saw the U.S. Census Bureau numbers, they said we're the 3rd fastest state from the standpoint of people moving to our state. And the reason they're moving here is because of a low crime rate. We're doing the right things, and we've done the right things.
And last question.
Is that part of the reason?
Absolutely.
Because of the law.
Yes.
Last question. Anything else you want to say about this new bill?
Well, I think it's going to have a very positive impact. It's something that I know, locally we're going to focus on, and if there's something we have to fix, we'll fix it. But it's doing the right thing. It just keeps thinking about what the average citizen in the state wants. They want their child to get an education so they can live their dream. They want to make sure they can have a job, and they don't want government to be mandating things that raises the cost of living. This is a government-mandated product. We've got to make sure we do it the right way so it doesn't raise the cost of living in our state.
Great. Thanks, everyone.
Thanks, everybody.
Thank you.